Welcome to a lesson with Dr. Powell. Let's take a look at a way that we can write the equation of this conic section, either an ellipse, hyperbola, or circle, in standard form. Now, notice how the coefficient of x squared and the coefficient of y squared are different. That means it's not a circle. If they were the same, it'd be a circle. Now, also notice that they're different signs, though. If they're different signs, that's a hyperbola. If they're the same sign, yet different coefficients, that's an ellipse. So in this particular case, it's a hyperbola. Okay, so what's the goal? The goal is to get something like this. Open number with a square, some square chunks, equals 1, with an x and a y in it. All right, how do we get this? We're going to complete the square. So first, let's put the x's together. 4x squared minus 16x. Put the y's together. Minus y squared minus 2y. Put the 11 on the other side. All right. Now, we're going to factor out, just out of the x's, the leading coefficient, or the coefficient of the x squared here. So just the 4, x squared minus 4x. Out of the y's, let's just factor out of that a negative 1. So we have y squared plus 2y. Now, we're going to complete the square inside these parentheses. See this right here? We're going to replace it with a square chunk. Which square chunk? Just take that right there and divide it by 2. Minus 2 squared. You can double check that. If you were to FOIL it, notice that negative 2x, it's double what negative 2x was. That's why we took a half. And so, but that gives it to negative 4x if we were to add this in the FOIL. Okay, but wait a minute, that's too much. If you were to multiply that out, you would get x squared minus 4x, but you also get something else. You get a negative 2 times a negative 2. You get a plus 4. Hey, that's too much. In fact, when you're squaring, this guy's always positive, which means, well, to counteract that, why don't we just, because that's what this is equal to all this. So to counteract that, why don't we just put a minus 4? So we can kind of take that as a rule if we want. What we do is we can take this, replace this with x minus just 1/2 of that. And then you always put a minus out here. What you must subtract off, this is always going to be a negative right here when you make this replacement with the square. And what is this? This is negative that guy squared, so 2 squared. All right, so let's use the same idea over here, keeping a 4 on the outside of those parentheses. Here, complete the square inside the parentheses, and we think replace this with y plus, just 1/2 that plus 2, which is plus 1. Okay, great. All right, and we're going to subtract. What are we subtracting? Just that 1 squared. Okay, we're getting there. Now we distribute. 4 quantity x minus 2 squared minus 16, then a minus y plus 1 squared plus 1 is equal to negative 11. Great. Now we take a look at this and let's see. This would be negative 15 over here with a negative 16 and 1. Then you add that to both sides. So 15 minus 11, you're going to get a 4 on that side. So we're going to be left with 4 x minus 2 squared minus y plus 1 squared is equal to 4. But we wanted a 1. Just divide everything by 4. And notice that'll cancel with that. So we're left with what we want. We have, in the end, x minus 2 squared over 1 minus y plus 1 squared over 4 is equal to 1. And we've been successful at converting this into standard form for a hyperbola. Now for a circle and ellipse, it's the same procedure. Thanks for watching.